Hey, Mrs. McKay here. We're going to work on today's homework, which is writing equations of lines in slope-intercept form. Let's get started. I'm going to go through page 1 and page 2 with you, and then page 3 and 4 will be your homework. Okay, let's look at the first question. It says, consider the linear function whose graph is shown below. Determine an equation in the form y equals mx plus b for this line. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out the slope of the line. Okay, to do that, we're going to pick 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this point. Okay, and then I'm going to this one. Okay, so the coordinates of that point are 2, -1, and my other point is 0, 2. Okay, these are my x's, these are my y's. Okay. And to figure out slope, we're going to do the change in y over the change in x. So 2 minus -1 over 0 minus 2. Oops. That'd be 0 minus -2. Sorry about that. Okay, which gives me a slope of 2 minus -1 would be 3 over 0 minus -2, which is going to be 2. So a slope of 3 over 2. That's my m. Okay, my b is my y-intercept, and I can see that it crosses at 2. So to put that in a equation, we're going to do y equals our slope, which is 3 over 2, x, and then our y-intercept, which is a positive 2, so plus 2. Okay, so that's our equation. Now, we're going to test our equation for the value of x equals 2. Okay, so when x equals 2, what should our y be? So we're going to go ahead and y equals 3 over 2. Okay, in my equation, I have my x right after that, so I'm going to substitute in my 2. Plus 2. Okay, these 2's cancel each other off, which leaves me with 3 plus 2, and that means y equals 5. Okay, so when x is 2, does y equal 5? Let's see. So x is 2, 1, 2. So let's count up to y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So our equation works. Okay, let's look at the next question. When the y-intercept is an integer, such as in the last exercise, it's fairly easy to get the exact relationship between x and y. Let's try another graphical problem where the y-intercept is not an integer. Find the equation of the line function shown in the slope-intercept form. Test your equation for x equals -4. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify 2 different points. So I'm going to use this one, which is -1, 2. And another point here, which is 2, 1. Okay, this is my x, these are my y's. Okay, so I'm going to figure out my m, which is my change in y over my change in x. So 1 minus 2 over 2 minus -1. Okay, 1 minus 2 is -1. 2 minus -1 is 3. Okay, so my slope is 1/3. And we don't know our y-intercept, but they tell us that x equals -4. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to use this set of data and see if I can figure out what my b is. Okay, so this is my x, this is my y. So 1 equals -1/3 times 2 plus b. Okay, 1 equals -1 or -2/3 plus b. Okay, and then I'm going to add 2/3 to both sides. Which gives me b equals 1 2/3. Okay, nobody likes fractions. Unfortunately, we have to leave it like that. Okay, so what now we need to test our equation for x equals -4. And that's going to tell us where our y-intercept is. Oh, actually, we just figured out what our y-intercept is, so we can just leave it like that. Okay, and we don't need to test it. Okay, we need to also be able to find the equation for a linear function if we know 2 points that lie on it. Notice that this means we have to determine the value of the 2 parameters with 2 pieces of information. Find the equation of the line that passes through each of the following pairs of points in the y equals mx plus b format. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, so this is my x, this is my y. I really strongly suggest that you do this on your assignments. So I'm going to figure out my m, which is 17 minus 5. So my change in y over my change in x, which is 5 minus 2. Uh, 17 minus 5 is 12. 5 minus 2 is 3. Excuse me, and that reduces to 4. Okay, so I know my m is 4. I'm going to pick a set of data. In this case, I'm going to do the 2 and the 5. So 5 equals 4 times 2 plus b, because we don't know what our y-intercept is. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Okay, that gives me that b equals 5 minus 8 is -3. Okay, now using what we know about our slope and our y-intercept, we're going to put this in y equals mx plus b form. So y equals 4x minus 3. And some of you might write plus -3. That's correct. But remember, if we're being good mathematicians, we're just going to write -3. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is my x. This is my y. This is my x. This is my y. Okay. 3 minus 5. 2 minus -2. Okay. 3 minus 5 is -2. 2 minus -2 is 4. And that reduces down to -1/2. Okay. I'm going to use the set of data 2 and 3 because they're both positive numbers. So 3, which is my y, equals -1/2 times 2 plus b. Okay. These cancel each other off. Gives me 3 equals -1 plus b. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. That gives me b equals 4. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and put that in y equals mx plus b format. Y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Okay, for some reason that looks like a times 4. I want to say plus 4. Okay. So to do that, I took my m and I substituted it in right here, and then I took my b and I substituted it in down right there. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, this is my x. This is my x. This is my y. This is my x. This is my y. Okay, -4 minus 11 over 4 minus -1, which is -15. -4 minus -1 is 5. And this reduces to -3. Okay. Both of my sets of data have a negative in it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick 4 and -4. So -4, which is my y, equals my m, which is -3, times my x, which is 4, plus b. Okay, -4 equals -12 plus b. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Okay, and that gives me b equals 8. Okay, and go ahead and write that in y equals mx plus b format. Okay, y equals -3x plus 8. So -3 is my m, my b is 8, and I substituted them into the corresponding spots. Okay, again, label your axes. This is or label your points. This is x. This is y. This is x. This is y. Okay, so 19 minus 4 over 12 minus 3 is 15 over 9, which reduces down to 5 over 3. Not a really nice number, but it'll be okay. So we're going to use the first set of numbers. We're going to use 3 and 4. 4 is my y, so 4 equals 5 over 3 times 3 plus b. Okay, these cancel each other off, which gives me 4 equals 5 plus b. Okay, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And that gives me b equals -1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and write that in y-intercept form. So y equals 5/3 x minus 1. Oops. If I can move that line up. Oops, it won't let me. Okay, so that says y equals 5/3 x minus 1. Okay, let's look at the word problem. A car is traveling along a single road. A car is traveling along a straight road. After 1 hour, the car is 72 miles from Chicago. After 3 hours, the car is 188 miles from Chicago. Determine an equation for the distance d the car is from Chicago after 8 hours if the relationship between d and h is linear. Okay, so let's use the information they gave us and we'll come up with 2 points. So after 1 hour, it's 72 miles. So I have the points 1 and 72. And after 3 hours, the car is 188 miles. Okay, these are still, this is x, this is y. Okay, 188 minus 72 over 3 minus 1. What we're doing is we're figuring out our m. Okay, so that's 116 over 2, which reduces to 58. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, take one of our sets of points. I'm going to use 1 and 72, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in my equation. So 72 equals 58 times 1 plus b. Okay. So we know that that is 58 times 1 is 58. So we're going to subtract 58 from both sides. And that gives me b equals 14. Okay, so that's the equation of y equals 58x plus 14. Now, they want us to put the equation in terms of d and h. Determine the equation, the distance the car is from Chicago after h hours. So we're just going to change the y to a d, and we're going to change the x to an h. Okay. And that's all there is for today's notes. I want you to go ahead and try the homework. If you have any questions, I have office hours every day from 1 to 3, and you can always ask me a question. You can send me an email, whatever is most easy and convenient for you. Okay, hope you're having a good day. I will see you later.